Dad used to ride a Yezdi, and I basically grew up on the tank of a Yezdi being taken places because we didn't have a car back then. And by the time I started riding a bike, the Yezdi was sold. I just got one chance to ride on my dad's Yezdi, and that's probably what got me hooked. What also gets you hooked is the sound of this bike. It's quite unique. It's unlike any other bike, and the reason being it has two exhausts. And I remember one of my friends, he goes by the name Jayan. We used to back in school days sit back and quite literally sing the exhaust note of a ESD, and that's how close this bike is to me. Now this whole YouTube thing, according to my plan, was supposed to be me riding a ESD from Coimbatore to Kasol. That was my first plan, and that quite literally never worked. Many reasons, and that's why I flew down to Kasol to start off just making something for this channel. And yeah, this bike basically was with me for some time. I didn't ride it a lot, but then I sold it. And now through this episode I document myself buying the same bike back, and just addressing a few issues that I thought the bike had even after it was restored. So yeah, it's a long intro, but I hope you like it. Video. So yeah, we've collected the money, and we're headed to a place called Nagarkoil. That's where the bike is right now, and I just can't wait to get the bike. So we finally brought the bike to the mechanic shed. The things that need to be taken care of is starting trouble, and the second one is not a complaint with my bike, but Yezdi just put out very less power. So the headlights and the taillights are absolutely unacceptable in whatever they try to perform. So we're trying to get a battery, a secondary lights, some louder horns, and maybe change the tail light to LEDs. சரி பிஞ்சுட்டானே அவ்வளோதான். வாப்பா. So we had an issue with the ignition system, and I've got that replaced for now, but still we have work on the front suspension. It doesn't bottom out properly. The rear suspension needs complete modification. I'll explain you why. And yeah, basically this is not a restored bike. It's something that you would call a restore mod, because I've completely changed the dimensions of the wheels. In the front, it's gone from 16 inch to 17 inches now, because you don't get good tires for 16 inches. A few decades ago, Yezdi was not a very much sought out motorcycle for anyone's daily use. So these bikes basically got sold for the value of metal that these bikes basically held. So you'll have really low wage workers riding these. One common modification amongst most ESDs were to run the bike on kerosene. The technique is simple. You need to start the bike with petrol, and once the bike is started, the engines are spinning, you can run the bike on kerosene. It definitely delivers less power. It's gonna ruin the engine, but people never care. So what the previous owner has done is he's cut the tank, he's put a sheet, he's created two different compartments, would fill one with kerosene and the other with petrol. It has two outlets. One is the original one, this one is the original, you can see, whilst this one was made. So we need to take this off, and during re-weld there has been a leak somewhere in this area, so that needs to be repaired. So here we are, we just coated the tank with a layer of red oxide, and I've used M-Seal for body filler. I'm really not sure how it's going to work out, but yeah, I've run out of M-Seal, so I'll get some more. I will just fill up the gaps, sand it down again, and I'll give it another coat of primer and kind of get it much better than this, because the shape of this tank is just ridiculous. There's a dent every single place. So this one is the biggest, so that one doesn't have enough of filler. I'll get some, I'll cover this one as well, and see you tomorrow. Okay, so now I worked on the tank. If you see the bottom, the middle piece is completely filled with M-Seal. I don't recommend this to anyone. I was just told it can be done. I am not going to get it to a showroom kind of a finish. So for what I'm doing, I think this treatment is good enough. To be specific, I sanded down the tank first, coated it with a layer of red oxide, and then you get to see how imperfections are. And on top of that, I added M-Seal and just basically sanded it down. And if you see, I used this, a flat piece of wood, to which I kind of wrap the sandpaper and sand it down, so it's kind of even, as even as it can get. But back in my childhood, I used to love cartoons. It wasn't as easy an access as it is today. We have cartoon channels, we have internet, but back in the day it was just the video cassette, which used to be very famous. And one of them cartoons which kind of sinks in with the period that my dad had a Yezdi was He-Man. And what's interesting about He-Man is he has a battle cat. Now I would like to draw a picture of the battle cat somewhere around here. Same on this side as well. So I'll have like the head of the battle cat on both sides of the tank, and probably the belly strap drawn around the toolboxes or the side doors of the bike. So the aim or the look that I'm going for is completely red oxide. I'm not going to make it look pretty or anything. I'm gonna leave it at red oxide, and I'm gonna draw something on top of that. So that's the basic idea of it.
Yo, I create off drum drops and 808 black tops. Grab the mic so you don't react. The double X polo shirt with the hat to match. In fact, we verbally vibrate your track.
After two pathetic attempts on the tank, I drew the battle cat on a piece of paper. So now what I'll do next is I will cut this out with a pair of scissors, and I will use that as a stencil on top of this tank. And I've never done this before, but I'm just going through what I've heard and how things can be done, and this is the first time I'm ever doing this, so let's see how it goes.
Then crush your confidence like plastic condiments. Build you up to break you down like forgotten monuments. The question is this: will they return with the hot shit or keep it on the low, low, low?
Yeah, and for you confused bastards, tune up the blues masters. Quick to grip the mic, cruise fast and sound clash. A critical mass, pitiful blast, have been deflected. Hypodermic vocals I flash, get you infected.
I know it's hip hop, you don't stop. I let the beat drop, I do the drop. It's hip hop, you don't stop. I let the beat drop, I do the top, y'all.
Jiminy Jim, Jerry. When you're with a sweet, you're in good company. Nowhere else a more happy crew than them that sings Jimmy Jerry.
Cause I'm nice, smooth, hard as a bone. Since I pick up the microphone, I'm hotter than brimstone. The razor sharp, crossbow accurate, and drop the multi-verbal milligram supplement. Plus invent theological word advance. Been too legit to quit before the hammer pans. The heritage, the pen converts words to some, and stay blacker than the New York Harlem Renaissance.
You're with a sweet, you're in good company. You're with a sweet, Jiminy.
Gift the gab should be sold in bags. Boost up the price tag, make a whack rapper mad. Rely on my right side, securing I take tight, tasty, tangible to your man.
Easily, tuna be cleverly swelling my treasury. Vocal pedigree for you critics who try to measure me. But leisurely about to run you down my resume. Had a bundle of struggle from birth to my present
Your
day.
love don't compute, perhaps you need a boost. A magical flute, some nose candy to two. Before you get loose, express and tell the roof. You claim you got the juice, but you lame and out loose.
Jiminy Jim Jerry. As sweet is as lucky can be. Jiminy Jim Jerry. Good luck will rub off when I shake hands with you. Up now, as the ladder of life has been strung, you may think of sweet on the bottommost rung. Though I spend my time in the ashes and back, in this whole wide world there's no happier cat. Jiminy